CCC family, it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today we are going to learn how to make this wonderful crochet circle net shoulder bag. Okay, so basically it's worked in a circle and it's a shoulder bag, and guys, it is beautiful and so easy to make and so quick to make. I mean, you can make one of these and just like maybe an hour or two. If you're new to crochet, then, you know, it might take you a little bit longer. That's okay. But if you've been crocheting for a while, you can whip these up really quick. So this is the handle and these are the two sides. So I'm going to show you how to make the first side, and then you will make a corresponding side exactly the same way. So that's how this bag is made, and then you sew your ends in. So it's just absolutely wonderful. There's plenty of these bags out there. I'm not the first one. This is definitely not my pattern. But I learned how to make one of these a long time ago and thought I would share with you guys. I've tried to make it as simple as I possibly can so it'll be good for a beginner. So I wanted to show you what it looked like, and then I'm going to tell you real quick the materials. Okay, so first of all, you're going to use a mighty big hook for this. It's a 10mm hook, and then you're going to use double yarn for this. Okay, because I couldn't find a color that I liked or that I thought looked good and a thicker yarn. So this is the yarn that I'm using. I'm using Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Low Pill Fiber. Okay, and the color is silver gray. All right, and they've got a couple more colors in this that are really cool looking too. You don't have to obviously use this color. You don't even have to use this yarn, but this is what I used and I wanted to show you. So what I did is it takes about 3 skeins to make one of these bags. It really only takes, I mean, if you crochet tighter, you could probably get 2. But when I'm using a bigger hook like this, I just kind of go a little bit looser. I don't know why. I don't really even mean to, but it's just what I do. So you'll probably need about 3 of these, and you won't use much of this third one at all to make it. So technically it's 2. And these are on sale. By the way, they sell for $3.99, but I got them for like 40-50% off or something like that. So it was a great bargain, and this is wonderful yarn. It feels really good, perfect for a bag. Okay, and these make wonderful market bags, beach bags, a purse. You can use this for anything. You could doll it up and put little little charms on it. There's all kinds of stuff that you could do with this. You could also, instead of using a yarn handle that I'm going to show you how to make, you could also put leather handles on it. There's just endless things that you can do for this, and this would sell wonderfully for craft shows and if you sell crochet. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make the first side, and what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of these skeins and we're going to double up our yarn, which means that I'm going to take this skein, and then I'm going to take another skein, and then I'm going to just pull out the yarn, and I'm going to put them together, and I'm going to crochet with 2 pieces of yarn and my 10mm hook. Okay, now you will also need a darning needle and a pair of scissors. If you don't call it a darning needle, you might call it a crochet needle. I always call them darning needles. So anyways, okay, so let's lower our camera and get started. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do is make a magic circle. And if you don't know how to do any of the basic things we're doing in this video, like making a magic circle or some of the stitches, please feel free to go to my absolute beginner crochet video, which I will link in the description below. Okay? And you will be, like I said before, working with these 2 strands. And if you've never done that before, it can be kind of difficult. And even if you have, it can get a little messy. Like with me making this magic circle right now, you want to make sure that everything is just right. Okay, so then you're going to chain 2. And remember that the chain 2 throughout this project does not count as a stitch. So most of the time a chain 2 would count as a double crochet or what have you. But in this particular project, and none of the rounds does it make a stitch whatsoever. Okay, so now we're going to put 12 double crochets into this magic circle. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 12. So there's 12 double crochets in the magic circle. So then we're just going to pull tight, and we're not going to slip stitch over here into this chain of 2 because remember it doesn't count as a stitch. You're going to crochet into this first double crochet that we did. You're going to slip stitch, okay? So you're going to go right into there and you're going to slip stitch. Okay, so you're going to chain 2, like just like this, and remember that doesn't count as a stitch, and then you're going to go into the same place and you're going to work 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And then you're going to go into your next stitch and work 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And again into your next, 1 and 2. And you're going to do that all the way around. And when you get to the end, we'll meet back up again. Okay, so now we're at our last stitch where we're going to put our last 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And then we're not going to slip stitch into this first chain of 2 because remember it doesn't count as a stitch. So we're going to go into this first double crochet that we did and we're going to do a slip stitch just like that. Okay. Now we're going to chain 2 again. Remember that doesn't count as a stitch. And then we're going to do 1 double crochet into that same spot. Then we're going to go into our next stitch and do 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. And in the next, you're going to put 1 double crochet. And in the next, you're going to put 2 double crochets. And that's your repeat for the round. Again, 1 double crochet in the next. And in the next, 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. So when you get close to the end of this round, we'll meet back up again. Okay, so now we're on our last stitch and we're going to put our 2 double crochets in there. And that's what you should end on as well, 2 double crochets. But now, instead of slip stitching to close, now is when we're going to start chaining 2 and turning our work, okay? Because now we're not going to be closing. We're going to be making that V that you saw and that you can see in the picture, the thumbnail, for the actual bag, okay? So we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and you're going to turn your work, okay? And then in this first stitch here, remembering that this doesn't count as a stitch, this chain of 2, we're going to be working right here into this space right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 double crochet here. And the next we're going to put 1 double crochet. And in the next we're going to put 2 double crochets. And that's our sequence for this row. So again, go into the next stitch, put 1 double crochet, go into the next, 1 double crochet, go into the next and put 2 double crochets. Okay, just like that. So do that all the way around, and when we get to the end, we'll meet back up again. Okay, so now we're down to our last few stitches, and I just wanted to show you what it'll look like, okay? So we're going to go into our next stitch and put 1 double crochet. You're going to go into your next stitch and put 1 double crochet. And then right here is our last stitch, and sometimes it can be hard to find. Just turn your work on its side so that you can see it clearly. And then you're going to go through both of these loops right here on the top, and you're going to do 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far, and this is kind of the back because we're turned now, and you can see this is where we worked our magic circle, so we know this is the back and this is the front. Okay, so now we're going to increase again. So we're going to chain 2, turn your work, remembering that this doesn't count as a stitch, and now we're going to put a double crochet right here in that same space. So there's 1 double crochet, then go into the next, 1 double crochet, go into the next, 1 double crochet, and then go into the next and do 2 double crochets. And again, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and 2 double crochets. So that's your repeat for this round. 3 double crochets and then 2 in the next. So do that all the way around and we'll meet back up again in just a minute. So now we're on our last few stitches. So we're going to do those together. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3 double crochets. And in this last stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. And this is what it looks like so far. Okay, so now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. We're going to turn our work. And now working into the same spot right here, we're going to put 1 double crochet, and in the next 1 double crochet, and in the next 1 double crochet, and in the next 1 double crochet. So that's 4. And then in the next stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. So that's our repeat for this round. So let's do that again. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way around and then we'll meet back up again. So we're in our last few stitches now. So let's do our 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in our last one here, we're going to put 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. Okay, then we're going to chain 2, turn our work, and this is what it looks like so far. Okay, and now we're going to be increasing again. So in the same stitch, just like we've been doing, we're going to put a double crochet. So we're going to do 5 of those. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in the next stitch, you're going to put 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. So let's do that one more time. You need 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in your next stitch, you're going to put 2 double crochets. So that's your repeat for this round. So you go ahead and work all the way around and we'll meet back up at the end again. Okay, so now we're going to work these last few stitches together. So we're going to do our 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in this last stitch, we're going to do our 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. Okay, then you're going to chain 2 and turn your work again. Okay, so just to show you, this is what it looks like so far from the back side here. All right, and so now we're going to do another row of increase. So in the same stitch, just like we've been doing, we're going to work our 1 double crochet, and we're going to put a double crochet into the next 5 stitches, so 6 including this one that we're doing right now. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you're going to put 2 double crochets in your next stitch. So again, you're going to do a double crochet in the next 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then in the next stitch, you're going to put 2 double crochets. Okay, just like that. So repeat that all the way around, and then we'll meet back. Okay, so we're on our last few stitches again together. So we're going to work our 6 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and I'm trying hard to stay on camera because this is getting large. 4, 5, and 6. And then in our last stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. It's getting very large. And now we have one more row of increase before we start our handle. Okay, so let's go over that. So we're going to chain 2, turn our work, remembering that chain 2 does not count as a stitch, but working into the same space right here, we're going to put a double crochet. And we need 7 double crochets. So that was our first one. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then in our next stitch, you guessed it, we're going to put 2 double crochets. So that's your repeat for this round. So let's do that one more time. We need 7 double crochets. So a double crochet in the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then 2 double crochets. So do this all the way around, and then we'll meet up at the end, and then we'll learn how to do our handle. Okay guys, so we're going to work these last stitches together, but I wanted to show you how big this was getting just in this small time we've been working on this. And that's because we've been working, obviously we've been increasing, but we're using 2 strands of yarn, and we're using a very big hook, so that makes it go by really quick. I can't even fit it in the camera to show you how large it is. Okay, so now we're going to work these last 7 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. 1 and 2. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to immediately go into making our handle from here, okay? So we're going to chain 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 29, and 30, okay? So we've done our 30, and we're gonna go over to the other side of our V, okay? So this is where we just chained up the 30, so this is the other side of the V, and we're going to go right into this first double crochet, not the chain of 2, but the first double crochet, and we're going to do a slip stitch just like this. Then you're going to turn your work because you're going to be working back down that handle. Okay, so let's get this all flattened out again. And now we're going to be working, like I said, back down the handle with single crochets. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to go right into this first stitch here, and I'm going to work a single crochet. And I'm going to do that all the way back down. And each stitch I'm going to put a single crochet for a handle. And because we're using such a big hook, this one single crochet really suffices to make a really good handle, a thick handle. Not too thick, but not too skinny. So just like that. So you just do your single crochets all the way back down, and when you get down to the end, I'm going to show you what to do and what we're going to do next. Okay, so I worked all the way down the handle, all the way into the last stitch, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right into my next available stitch. So we're right here back on this bag here, and I'm going to put a double crochet. And I'm going to do that in every stitch around, 1 double crochet all the way around. Now when you do this round of double crochet, you're going to notice that your work starts to turn ever so slightly. Now whether it does or not is okay, but you will most likely see that. And that's exactly what you want it to do, because it's going to make kind of like a little bit of an indentation so that when you sew the 2 pieces together, it has a side to it. Okay, so you're just simply going all the way around, doing 1 double crochet. So you go ahead and do that, and when we get to the other side close to the end, I'll meet back up with you again. Okay, so now we're on our last few stitches here of our double crochets all the way around. Okay, so we've just got 1 more, and then we're right here next to the handle. So what I want you to do is do that last double crochet, and then right here, right where we did our first, actually this is where we did our slip stitch, we're going to go right back in there again and do another slip stitch, okay? Right there at the handle. And then you can cut off, and then you're done with this side, okay? So I want you to work in all of your ends, and then you'll make another side exactly the way I just showed you how to do this one. So we tied off. So let me just go ahead and show you what this looks like here. I really can't fit it all the way in the camera, but basically we need to work these ends and then these from the middle. But this is what this looks like here. Okay, and as you can see, when we did this double crochet, it created slightly a curve all the way around. Okay, so make your other side and come back, and then I'm going to show you how to sew it all together. So I've got some of the same silver thread on my darning needle, and I put a bunch on here. Okay, you want a ton on your darning needle so that you don't have to rethread it again, although if you had to, it wouldn't be the end of the world. And now I have both sides lined up together. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line these up as perfectly as I can right there so that they meet. And then I'm going to go right in here, right under both of these, just like this. And I'm going to pull my yarn, okay? And I'm going to leave a little tail on the end because I want to work that in. And then I'm going to go right back through there again, just like this. And then I'm going to do it one more time. And this is just so that it's very secure right up here by the handle, okay? And then I'm just going to keep going in and out all the way down, just like that. So there's one. And two. So I'm just going in and out, trying to line up my stitches and catch each one as I go. And this is better, I think, for this project than doing the whip stitch because it's not going to show as much. I mean, it's basically going to be seamless besides that first one there. So you're just going in and out all the way down, just like this. So you're going to do that all the way around. And then once you get to the other side, just like we did in the beginning of for this, when we started sewing it together, you're going to do it twice around that very last one. And that's just so that it's extra secure. Okay. And then you're just gonna have the cutest bag. And let me just show you when this flattens out and it's done. It's just a really pretty side there when you go in and out with your seams like that. Okay, and then just work in your end over here and work in your end over here when you're done. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, share, and subscribe. It helps so very much, and I appreciate it. If you get the time, please watch an ad here or there to help with the expenses that go into buying all this yarn and all the materials for these free tutorials. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Happy crocheting. Bye-bye, guys.